Dexter Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Dexter, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Dexter Season 6 Episode 9. The title of this episode is called Get Gellar. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode a few days ago. Dexter has had his dark passenger so long he can't recall his life without it. Dexter uses an axe to get the chains off of Travis Marshall, and then Dexter asks Travis Marshall where the next victim will be staged at, where it's going to be taking place at, and unfortunately, Travis doesn't know. So, Dexter gets Travis a hotel room. Dexter tells him, do not leave this room. Dexter is trying to figure out what "tulot" means, thinks it might be a certain professor. Dr. Ross, or Dr. Michelle Ross, talks about table/chair to Deb, and Dexter gets to the station and wants to apologize to Deb, and she says, I get it, you're a chair. Dexter says, what? Very confused, and Deb doesn't have time to explain. So one of the biggest insults you can call people is, hey, viewer, you're a chair. That's one of the funniest moments in this show, just because it's so like random. So Dexter actually asked Batista, is Jamie, or has Jamie ever called him a chair? And Batista's like, I don't think so. Briefing room time. I wonder why Soderquist has never been allowed to present at these briefing room meetings. He is standing in the background as usual. Masuka mentions that Quinn was proposing to strippers last night. Batista goes to Quinn's and mentions to him that he missed the morning briefing. Quinn's gun apparently fell out in a certain female's car. Jessica Morris's father shows up at the station and wants the case reopened. He says his daughter's sternum was cracked. Masuka takes a sip of Mountain Dew and asks Lewis how it's coming along. When it comes to matters of the heart, always follow your dick. It's what the advice Masuka gives to Lewis Green. Dexter brings Travis Marshall a sandwich. Dexter tells Travis about Gellar posting. Quinn apparently banged some stripper's mom. She's old and not the best looking. Tells Batista, if you tell anybody about this. And then Quinn tells Batista how it is, and Batista snaps. He starts to fight Quinn until somebody says that they'll call the police. Dexter goes to see the Professor Casey, that's an atheist that may be in danger by Gellar. And then Dexter tells Casey that he may be in danger, and Casey just shakes it off like, well, why wouldn't I be in danger? I cover controversial things. Dexter sets a kill room up at the church. Dexter asks Travis, what's Gellar like? Travis sees Gellar and they go after him. They get to Casey's office and there's blood in there. Dexter takes Travis back to the hotel. The next morning they find Professor Casey dead at the university. His hand is missing and Masuka moves his arm, and that triggers all the blood that was missing from his body to drop on them coming from the ceiling. So everybody is just covered in blood. And then Gellar has also written some stuff in Travis's hotel room in blood on the bathroom wall and mirror. Another therapy session with Dr. Ross for Deb. Dr. Ross asked Deb about the relationship between her father and Dexter. LaGuerta doesn't want to reopen the call girl case. Deb says fire her if she has a problem with her doing her job. Otherwise, she's going to reopen the case. And then LaGuerta tells Matthews. Deb won't listen. He's the one that gave Jessica CPR. No wonder why LaGuerta doesn't want Deb to look into this case anymore. Matthews is really trying to do anything he can for LaGuerta to get this swept under the rug, so to speak. Dexter tells Deb if there is anything that she needs, that he can be a chair for her. And Deb tells Dexter she doesn't want a chair, she wants a table. Oh boy. Deb tells Dexter she has no idea if Dexter's okay, but she's not, but she's working on it. Lewis Green has tracked the IP address from the blog. Another shameless person, Tommy, is in this episode, played by Michael Patrick McGill. Even both of the Dexter finales were better than the Shameless finales. Now, I haven't got to both the finales yet of this show, but the Shameless finale, it had 4 really good seasons to start, and they went till 11 seasons. The final season of Shameless it's bad. So, the elements of Dexter and Dexter New Blood that are bad are the worst things about the Shameless finale. It's like a season finale. They don't really tie anything up. Everything is left open-ended. But that's a spoiler for Shameless. Jamie goes to Lewis Green's place. He has quite the collection of collections, Jamie says. And then Jamie and Lewis start to have sex. As the camera pans out, we see Lewis also has the mannequin arm in his collection as well. Dexter and Travis go back to the church. Gellar and Travis talk. Harry and Dexter talk. Harry asks Dexter what he's getting out of this. He says a better father to Harrison is what he's getting out of this. Dexter finds Travis passed out. Where is Gellar? There's actually a hidden cellar in the church that Dexter finds. As a freezer is making noise down there, Dexter opens it and finds Professor Gellar in there, and he's been dead all along. Did Travis act alone? Did Travis kill all those people? Dexter's narration says to end the episode. So Travis apparently talks to someone that isn't there, just like Dexter. So they're very similar. So this was actually a really good episode of Dexter. Yeah, not the biggest fan of this season, as I've mentioned quite a few times, but there are some good episodes that are intriguing, but then they usually follow it up with a bad episode. So I'm going to give this episode an 8.8 out of 10. And my female character of the episode, I'm going to give it to Jamie in this particular one. I know Deb probably was the best character, but I mean, she's won it like every episode, so it's time to give it to somebody else. And Jamie was a little bit more of a factor in this episode, and she made Lewis very happy. And my male character of the episode, I'm actually going to go with Lewis Green, because I felt like he was more memorable than the other person I was thinking, and that would be Travis. Of course, there's that big reveal at the end, but that was really it. Otherwise, Travis just laid on the ground and stayed in the hotel room and looked confused with the blood messages on the wall. So those are my thoughts on this episode. When Deb calls Dexter a chair, that had me laughing for about 5 minutes. I had to stop watching it for a second and just kind of gather my thoughts for that. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn if you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood, which I hope you are, since you're watching the video. And want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So it's not just helping me out with the algorithm, but if you're a fan and want to hear my thoughts, because I feel like I'm one of the biggest fans of this show, although it's not my favorite show, it's number 2, go ahead and smash that like button. Share the video with whomever you want, or put it on any of your social media platforms if you're comfortable with doing that. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this particular episode of Dexter. Who is your male character of the episode? Who is your female character episode? What would you score this episode? I gave it an 8.8. Maybe you'll give it a higher score or a lower score. And if you have a favorite moment, you can leave that as well. And last but certainly not least, you're watching the video anyway, so don't forget to hit that sub button. Always trying to grow the channel. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.